Welcome, Magdalene beloveds. Mary Magdalene's feast day is coming up on the 22nd of July, and this is one of the most potent and important portals during the year where we can remember this current as an embodied frequency within us. So I'm excited to have curated something really special around this day for you. That is Magdalene Oracle. Magdalene Oracle is a virtual pilgrimage created for Mary Magdalene's feast day, inviting you to remember who you truly are through the living frequency of the Magdalene, the oracle wisdom of your own body and Earth's living sacred temples. This is an initiatory and ceremonial journey guiding you along the recorded path of the Magdalenes through the sacred landscapes of Mount Carmel, Egypt, and southern France, where you will awaken your ancient starfire technology, embody your inner oracle, and come home into a circle of wise women that you have always belonged to. Your virtual pilgrimage includes 3 live 90-minute ceremonial transmissions from powerful sacred sites carrying Magdalene key codes that are Mount Carmel, the Desert Rose Stream, and longevity codes of the Magdalene lineage of light. Egypt, the Starwalker temples and your chakras as stargates. Saint-Baume in France, the Oracle Mountain and levitation as frequency technology. Each transmission combines sacred site frequencies, embodied Magdalene Starfire activations, guided ritual experiences, space for reflection and sharing, and a live Oracle Sister Circle. You also get lifetime replay access and access to our private Oracle Sister community on Telegram. But that is not all. You also get cool bonuses that I curated for you. One is a transmission from the Celtic Isles, a pre-recorded ceremonial transmission activating the Emerald Heart as the final integration of your Magdalene Oracle pilgrimage. A Magdalene Oracle journey, including reflection prompts, Oracle writing pages, sacred maps, and a curated Magdalene reading list for your personal integration. And priority invitation and discounted invitation into the next cohort of Magdalene Reiki Level 1, Temple of the White Flame, that is starting on August 8th. So this investment for your pilgrimage is 222 Swiss francs, or the equivalent of your local currency, or 2 payments of 111. The temple doors open on the 13th of July and they close the 21st of July. This virtual pilgrimage is intentionally timed to journey with one of the year's most potent Magdalene portals of remembrance. We begin on Mary Magdalene's feast day, 22nd of July, and continue through 24th of July. Your place in the Oracle Circle is waiting. Enter the temple and remember who you truly are and step into a living field of Magdalene remembrance together. I'll see you in the circle. Hello, my sacred travel fam. I just want to take a moment and really acknowledge our beautiful community that we are building. We are constantly growing, and it really feels like one big travel family by now. This network of light, with our hearts being the illuminated nodal points on the planet. So I'm inviting you to take 3 deep breaths with me today, and hearing and feeling and envisioning this powerful community as we all become these tuning forks and stewards of light for our beloved planet Gaia. So thanks for being here. And if this conversation on the Sacred Travel Podcast resonate with you, then I invite you to please leave us a 5-star rating on your favorite platform and share with a fellow travel friend so they get to be part of this amazing community too. And my next guest is actually testament of this powerful connection and community found through the podcast across all borders, timelines, and dimensions. Please welcome with me my new friend, intuitive channel, and energy healer, Rayania Chaenn. She reached out to me sharing that she had been listening to the podcast for a while and is now also stepping into the shoes of a sacred travel host to no lesser place than you see behind the two of us, Mount Kailash in Tibet, that is said to be the crown chakra of the earth. So welcome, Rayana. I'm so excited to have you with us today.
Hi, Julia. Thank you. It's such a pleasure and privilege to be here with you and your beautiful community and in your beautiful heart of building this sacred travel template over the world. Yeah.
Well, I am so glad that, you are part of that too, and that we get to share, this excitement for the places and also the remembrance that happens when we travel to these places. But before we head to Mount Kailash, I would like the audience to get to know you a little bit better. So you shared with me that you were born in Taiwan and that you at birth were rejected for being female. So this does not seem like a very welcoming start for a newborn soul into this world here. How did this experience inform your path and who you are today?
Wow. What a beautiful question to start our conversation. I feel this is part of the reasons why many of us were chosen to be born as women in this lifetime, as like rejected as a woman. Maybe some of the family actually prefer girls, but generally the cultural construct prefer male. I think it's a long history, about 5,000 years in Asia, and I think there are also a few thousand years in the Western. So for me, when I was born into this belief, the part of me didn't really think much about it. However, I think the unconscious part, like the whole being, was actually received such a message, unconscious hidden message that being a woman is less of a worth. So you need to compensate by being, whether it's obedient, pleasant, people pleasing, or be smart and be intellectual or be able to make money, or things like that, to bring honor to the family. So that's very much in Asian culture, like bring honor to your family. And so how does that affect me? I think it actually enable me to go to become very brainiac, like intellectual. So I don't know, somehow at some point I pick up this signal that my parents were happy when I got good grades. So I think that message just, wow, I think I just went all in. Like, okay, there's nothing I need to do except to study, like to get good grades, be a good student, to do everything right. And I think it allowed me to, for example, go into the best university in Taiwan, and then I have good work opportunity. And so I got to moved to Europe because I was feeling the call of Europe. Like when I was feeling the call of Kailash, out of nowhere. And so I think because of my intellect and also the upbringing, it seemed to open doors for me to go into, to create or receive opportunities that enable me to travel, to see the world, and then to study some more. And however, I would also like to bring it back when I had my midlife crisis and 10th time of dark night of the soul. And I went into spiritual, let's say, awakening journey. It 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 just made this spiritual journey so much harder because I was constantly living in my mind. I was doing a lot of spiritual healing through my mind, and so it has been a blessing, like this background, but also I don't say it's like a curse, but it's also like a gift. Like being a woman, I got to work double hard in order to prove my worth. So it enabled me to create more experiences. However, yeah, I guess it just served until it doesn't serve. So stop here.
That's powerful. And, also the awareness and the consciousness that this situation that, yeah, when you are a child, I imagine it's just like traumatizing and terrifying in a way that is also retrieving the gifts out of that finally. So that's powerful medicine that is there.
Yeah, it's almost like when you talk about that, it feels like I feel the the path, my life path, and I feel like that's common with a lot of your audience and a lot of light workers, so star C, or however we identify ourselves as or way showers, is that it's that journey, however cultural conditioning we were born into. It's almost like we were made to believe that we cannot be ourselves, right? Whatever innate is ours, whether it's the ability to see the unseen realm or the creative force, or just the frequency of joy, right? That innate joy of life, however we carry with us, was made not okay. And so this is really the journey of the medicine to retrieve, like to walk through most part of my life. Even now, it's Chiron return to not knowing who I was, like truly, right? I know I have a lot of ability and experience, but who am I under all these skills and under this mental intellect and a lot of qualifications? So I feel this is really a beautiful gift that I'm retrieving right now, like along the way. Like who am I
Yeah.
underneath
Yeah.
all these
Which is
conditionings? And
actually part of, the upper chakra activation as well, just in a different form. But it was, when we first met, or when we had our first call together, I really felt wrapped in this mantle of compassion and grace. And then I felt it so beautiful because when you were telling me about the pilgrimage and also, yeah, sharing like for this conversation, it kind of like confirmed, or you confirmed that what I had been feeling of the archetypes and the qualities and the deities of Queen Tara and Kuan Yin, that those are two of your soul embodiments, you could say. And to me, also, both are channels of the heart and the crown stargates. So I would love to hear from you how they are supporting you in this endeavor to bring this pilgrimage to Kailash alive.
so Kuan Yin has been very present even before I knew about any spirituality. So in Taiwan, it's very the predominant religion was Taoism. So Kuan Yin is very commonly, we would say, worshipped in the household. So most of the family have a Kuan Yin statue. And my grandmother always said she was one of the daughter, like it's a religious term. It's like one of the adopted daughter by Kuan Yin. So we celebrate Kuan Yin's birthday every year, and then it's a daily practice ritual to light incense to pray to the deities, and Kuan Yin is always one of them, and then the family ancestors, the past ancestors. So I have this. I do that every day for 20 something years until I left Taiwan. I didn't really feel specific connection, although she's always the one when we have trouble. We have to like call upon Kuan Yin, like please come support, like help me with something, or like help me pass the school exam, university exam, something like that. And so I feel it was after I moved to Europe. I first moved to Germany. So how it's connecting me to this path of the pilgrimage is that I think I have to bring in that, right at the end of my computer, like corporate technology corporate job, I started to learn to be trained as a past life regression therapist. So that was the beginning for me in the human awareness that, oh, wow. So, there are different, like, soul agreements, soul journeys, and it opened me up to feel what compassion is. Because until then, it was just a term. And so compassion is truly to be in the depth of the pain or the, let's say, suffering, but still have the ability to see from a different perspective or higher perspective of, how this whole situation, life is working. And so I feel like that was the connection with Kuan Yin that truly allowed me to learn what this life is about. And so how is it connected? How are they supporting me to connect to Kailash? I would say the time when right before I was being called or summoned by Kailash, I just went through like the crumbling of everything, right? I ended a very long-term serious relationship, which I thought would last much longer. And I just felt I need to, like, there was that I didn't know where is home. So I was being called to move to Portugal, from Spain to Portugal. And even though I don't know where in Portugal. So it was almost like everything started, everything crumbled. Like I didn't know where my footing was and who I was. And I thought by then I should have a life, all worked out and the spirituality. And I found my gift and how I should have established a specific level of spiritual service. But that was beginning of 24. And I just like knew nothing, almost like there's no direction. And I just accidentally came across a website, of Kailash, a pilgrimage to Kailash. The date, it was 23. So I was like, oh my God,
Uh-huh.
it was in the past. So I wish I could go. I don't, at that time, I didn't really know about Kailash. I heard this name. I just like, this is an interesting name, but I don't know how sacred it was back then. And so I actually reached out to the facilitator and then asked, like, would you do it again? And he said, oh, actually, we postponed it to this year. So to 24. So I was like, oh, so that meant I can go.
This is timelines collapsing, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was like incredible. Um, and so looking back, I feel so it was really through this journey, this pilgrimage to Kailash that I was opening myself to what is beyond the surface spirituality. It's as if like I knew I was like a great worker in a sense. Like, I just love traveling and I know and I later I found out whenever I go, I would be dropping codes and receiving codes and bringing certain energy to alchemize certain places. And but it was through preparing for Kailash and actually also through walking, like traveling through Tibet and through this very demanding physical feat to go to the height. It's about 5,630 meters. So it's 18, I believe it's 16,000 feet. So it was that high. And that was my first time ever to be walking such long distance, to be walking at such high altitude. And it was almost like that was the first time I was being cracked open in different way to connect with something deeper within myself and with the land. And so I feel how Green Tara or Kuan Yin has supporting me, even though they were also synchronistic. What is that? The happening through visiting different monasteries and the statues. It was really cracking me open to know who I am within or underneath all this conditionings and belief and mental construct of who I am, what this life should be, and what I can do, what I cannot. So it was not such a direct happening, but it's truly to allow me to because I'm very stubborn, I'm very mental. So it really takes a whole lot mountain to crack me open to say, are you willing like to really come back within, and then to also have the compassion of how hard you have made this life, how challenging, how difficult. Through my upbringing, like this mental construct and belief, and I would say mental prison, how I have made my life so much more difficult because of that. And I feel, looking back, and at that time, I just, I don't know, I was in a different place, but it was really looking back, I realized, that's what, it's almost like it's the grace of life. It's a grace of our higher self, our oversoul. I just say, you cannot live like this anymore. Like whatever you are chasing outside of you is not going to work. So we're going to bring you back to yourself. And there's no other thing to crack your mental mind open except this majestic mountain and this pilgrimage. And so, yeah, I think that was like the crack of light that started back through then.
It also really comes like a cosmic joke to me when you said like you were looking for home, or you lost your home, and one of the translations or meanings, if we want to go into like also what Kailash means, as the eternal home, right, of Shiva or the gods, or is like, oh, so here's your home. Like finding home in yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. It's just beautiful because I was so stubborn and I was not ready to see. And after the pilgrimage, I had to move another 8 times looking for my home.
Whoa. That's a
And
lot.
then, yeah, that was, I mean, I have never moved like that. So I have a new respect for people who have gone through this similar experience. And, and I feel everything that took place, it's like, how willing are you to surrender? And, and I somehow was so afraid to let go. And so life has its way to keep purify, purify what is not true. Because I think, coming back to your first question, right? How does that impact me? I take on a lot of beliefs and this empowered construct just to wanted to meet, just to find external answers of how this life should be and can be, and what is the meaning of this life. And so I feel Kailash, it's almost like this. I don't usually see it like that, but it's almost like it's this pillar of wisdom, or this loving presence that say, just, are you willing to let go? And and I feel I would just like, no, until 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 I have to say, I know we're talking about Kailash, but on the day 3 of Kailash, the Kora, I suddenly have a drop in, like, okay, next is Kilimanjaro. So on day 3, I receive the next step is to go to Kilimanjaro, and I was like, really? But I don't want to. so
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, probably not many people share so openly like how rebellious and how unwilling to surrender a spiritual person is. But I am just like so not. I'm so open, but I'm also I mean, there was a lot of fear within me.
Yeah.
Holding on to certain, I don't know, believe, and even I don't agree with them. Read so many books, and I myself as a facilitator, that still, I still also have a lot to let go. And then to understand there are like
Totally.
so many layers. Like even when I think I cracked this level, they're just like, oh, then there's a deeper layer. Like you are still operating that's inverted, that is distorted, that is not in organic harmonic to who you are. And so I have to go through another kicking and then say, okay, okay. And then, so yeah, so I think Kailash for me is, I have never realized how much it has been impacting me even before I knew its existence. But I feel this is very much
Hmm.
on the soul level. So
Yeah, that's so powerful. And, I feel it's also like this authenticity that you are speaking about, that a true pilgrimage. And of course, like speaking about, Kailash, and we can see it just in the picture behind us, like this is not an environment that is easily to be in. But also any kind of pilgrimage, I feel that there is really this deeper soul calling. And sometimes we say it with a lightness, and sometimes it is light, but I have also experienced it in ways where it's connected to mostly some sort of a layer where already a part in us that knows that it's gonna die is terrified. And so it's like, not going, we're not going, but I'm sorry, I have to.
really, I love that.
So, yeah. And what I love is, this transition that you are also speaking about, or these deeper layers that you are speaking about. So you've experienced it as a participant, which is a whole initiation, right? But then also going as a facilitator, and sometimes, again, like coming from the mind's perspective, we think it's easier, but then of course, like we also go through our own initiations. So what would you say is cracking you open now in the preparation for guiding others on their journey?
I love this question. Whew, I just have to be honest because there's no other way. So I received this calling, and actually they call it permissions. One person call it permission, one person call it green light. So right after I actually on the way back, I just heard this voice within me, so happy, like I'm gonna do this. But I was thinking of more like, you know, tropical island, jungle. Like I'm gonna do this, like taking people to amazing places, and then just do like, support them to initiate and then open up. And I didn't know about Kailash. So once I landed back, and at that time I was in Portugal, I started to feel very unwell, as if like I mean, I love Portugal, but when I came back from Kailash, I just feel like, oh, I so miss the energy, the ruggedness, the spaciousness of Tibet, of Kailash, of the mountain. Because I moved to Portugal because of the ocean, the Atlantic, and I thought, I'm such an ocean person. I have to be living by the ocean, which that's why I moved to Spain. I moved to Portugal, and at that time, I was just really craving. I think my body was craving that energy of the mountain, the Tibet. I think Tibet as a land has a very beautiful. It still holds that pristine energy in that area, and the Himalayan ranges. Kailash, and we also went nearby Mount Everest. So it just feels so pristine that almost like it creates a new dimension for the body to alchemize a lot of things. And so when I returned to Portugal, I started to have different people coming tell me like, you're gonna go back to Tibet. You're gonna take people back. You're gonna take women back, and you're gonna do this and do that. I was like, oh no, I don't know. I don't think I can. I don't know if I want to go back again to do the track. It was really hard the first time. And and they say, "Yeah, maybe you can do it 2025." And I was petrified. I was like, I don't know if I could. So I actually give myself time until 26. And even that, I have always, even before I knew what all the spirituality is, I always have this desire. I wanted to be of service. I wanted to be the best version of myself. It's very, like, people talk about that a lot. I wanted to be my highest timeline. I wanted to remember who I am and fulfill what I came here to do. And it's so easy to say, but who am I? The like return, whether we want to say unbecome or become the person who we came here to be. That process itself is a lot of cracking open, because this system we were born into is just so complexly designed, and we were born into a very dense construct, right? A system. And so I keep saying that, and I keep asking universe, like, give me opportunity to do what I came here to do. I'm not going to die before before I finish or I fulfill what I came here to do. And through many channelings, whether it's through, for myself, for public, and for private session, is that, we keep hearing we have been preparing a lot of lifetimes on the earth, and also, different galaxy, different planet system, in order to prepare for this ascension, this specific lifetime. And so this life is not holiday life for most of us. In regression, we have a term called holiday life. It's like, after a lot of challenges life, and then the soul can choose, okay, I'm gonna make this an easy life, just maybe be a
Can I
shepherd.
sign up for this?
Yes. Yeah, I know. So this is absolutely like the opposite of holiday life. So like, we are not here. I mean, yes, we will be experiencing a lot of miraculous moments of, remembering, and a lot of magical moments of creation. However, through a lot of process, it's a lot of moments of facing the fear. And so I think it took me almost 2 years for me to really get serious with myself and get honest. Like, am I really willing to do what I said I want to do? Because, like you were saying, right, when we are being called to do something, usually that's when our soul already sending down signal, like, okay, this is your next step of the expansion or the remembering. And then there's a part of us just like, oh no, it's so scary. So we were just finding reasons not to do, whether it's the money, it's the time, it's the husband, it's the wife, it's the dog, it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's the space, it's the airplane, it's the government. Like, we will have this, I think the part of it that wanted to find other reasons. And in the end of the day, it's really like between me and myself, like whether, what choice do I want to make? So it took me really almost 2 years for me to get honest and then make choice. Because I think part of the spiritual myth, and I have been playing that, is that we believe if I just align my energy, I just keep aligning my energy, I just keep saying my intention, and then things were opening up. And then there will be a silver play, and then, you just receive it. It may happen, like, in different occasions, but when we are going to level up, like truly level up to a different level, it just takes a whole lot of the dissolving and letting go of the deep programs, and even the belief about, I don't know, spiritual manifestation. Like, it's all like we have to rewrite that, and then truly align to the energetics underneath and the intention of the heart. So yeah, I wanted to come back to the heart. It's like the heart, when the heart is calling, the just more painful I felt, and more chaotic my life became. And my life has been, again, after 2 years, crumbling down, has fallen apart again. And I was just like, what? Am I not a good spiritual person? Am I not a
Mhm.
good, I mean, right? Am I not doing the right thing why is my life so in shambles? And I feel like it's because when we are at this crossroads, like, it's almost like when sometimes for certain people, I think it depends on the soul blueprint, like how our energetic works. It's like I needed, not that I wanted, but I needed to be stripped away all that is not necessary, or that is an illusion that I was trying to hold on to, I thought I needed, and they have to break apart in order for me to say, okay, I need to make a choice. Like, how do I want to live my life, carry on? Like, so I don't have any relationship to break anymore, but like everything in my life is taken away, is like crumble. So I just have to I have to make decision, like, do I want to answer the calling? Do I want it to step up to who I am? Or do I just want it to float? Like thinking, miracle will happen just by me sitting here and then just praying, and right. So I think that's what Kailash has been calling me. And even when the moment I say, okay, I'm not going to think about it, I will come across upon the videos about Kailash, and then I'll be crying. Like this, the physical reaction is just not to be ignored. And so, yeah, I just feel like I could not resist anymore. And I need to grow up, become mature, and take responsibility, say, okay, do I choose this path? And if is, I'm just going to go for it. So, yeah, it takes a lot of blood and tears, and also honesty, and really letting go of, what kind of victim program, what kind of privileged thoughts I have been playing out, as a star seed, as a woman, as a spiritual person, as a mental person. Yeah. And I feel this is how we are returning to who we are, how we're remembering is by making a choice. And then that through that process, what needs to be purified is being purified. Yeah.
It's so powerful. And, so you said that it's a heart pilgrimage, and it's really a purification trust walk. That's what you called it, to dissolve lifelong pain and survival patterns. So that in itself sounds extremely powerful. So for anyone who is feeling the call to join you, how are you curating the sacred journey? How are you making sure that, people are guided through the preparation, the processes, and also what are the codes that you'll be working with?
Yeah, beautiful question. So through my own different participation with different sacred sites, pilgrimage, what I have realized is that it is important to have a coherent group field. And so for this group, what I would love to do and what I've been planning in place is that to have already start the pilgrimage before, like 2 months before the journey. So we'll be gathering together, and then to go through, a lot of physical, mental, emotional, and energetic preparation. Because as you know, that pilgrimage starts. Actually, it starts as the moment you say yes, right? So that is, yeah, it's not like, okay, when I landed in that airport, and then yeah.
And it has even started before, because by the moment the yes trickles through into the conscious brain, it's been like working its way through the cellular memory. Yes.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that is so beautifully said. Yeah, beautiful. So yeah, I definitely I feel like, like it's a beautiful support to have already regular meetings and connections and practices before this pilgrimage. And then to work through a lot of, whatever the mind is already coming up, life is already throwing, like certain, to alchemize, and then to already strengthening our muscles, right? Mental muscle, emotional muscle, but and then energetic muscle to prepare for this pilgrimage. Because I feel this pilgrimage is fundamentally, like I say, well, it's the purification, is to letting go of a lot of dead weight. It's like, if, like this hot air balloon, we need to throw all the weight down the sandbags in order for us to lift. And I feel this is what's been happening. And it's I would say, efficient. Pilgrimage in itself is an efficient way to letting go of the way. Also, because when the group of women or group of people that decided to come together, it's very much the soul agreement that's made even before this birth time, right? It could be many lifetime before, but also on the soul realm, there's no time. So it's like people who agree to come together to support one another, whether we become best friend or not, it's a different thing, but it is energetically vibration, frequency, and the soul level. We are here together to support one another to go through whatever we needed to go through. So whether maybe it's the conversation, that casual conversation that could trigger you something that could ignite, like open up a potential portal, or it's because of a certain conflict, or it just doesn't discomfort, or maybe just being together. We already ignite each other, on our path. There's so much communication happening in our field whenever we come together, heart open. And so this, because I myself is here really all about the heart. So I feel this journey, what I'm preparing or what I'm holding space for, is for people truly to open our heart. And I know that our heart is the portal to our soul, to our cosmic diamond heart. Like our cosmic diamond heart is to our cosmic soul. Like there are different levels of our soul existence that we are able to access, right? Even though so to our biggest oversoul and our source consciousness. So this is a very powerful process many of us will be going through, like really to open our heart and then to allow our true essence, our unique frequency to flow through. And it takes willingness. It takes willingness. And also, sometimes it's the physical challenge, sometimes it's the emotional, sometimes it's both of them, in order for us to connect to that part deeper within us. And I feel the land of Tibet, the land of the mountain of Kailash, and the Himalayan, and also the Shambhala consciousness. Like it's like many of the consciousness ascended master, but also Shambhala consciousness or ascended masters, I don't know how to call them, has been very present as well. And I feel many of us has been part of that consciousness or study with the masters in different lifetimes. So it truly is to reconnect with that wise part of ourselves. A lot of time it's also about the soul retrieval. And I think I did that Kailash, like day one, also, like the soul fragment integration. And yeah, and then the code truly is really also about deeper connection and remembering with Gaia, is to connect with the organic earth that have been, well, I don't think it's gone, but it's like it has been there, but it's just like underneath a lot of, distortion or war or control mechanism. So this is for women who feel that we're here to be part of the force that usher in the new earth. And I feel that usher in the new earth, even this term itself is a bit interesting, because we are the new earth. We are the one that gets to embody, right? To embody the new earth frequency and to really shedding all that is false, so we can access that frequency and awaken the true soul frequency, so that we could be that emanation of the new earth, or the organic earth, or the original earth. I don't know how people call it.
Mhm.
So yeah. So on the bigger level, on the higher level, I would say this is what deeply has been calling. Like the Mount Kailash and the land actually is offering this opportunity. Also the lake, Manasarova, like we haven't had the chance to talk about, I don't know about the time, but yeah, the lake itself is so, like, it's incredible, pristine. When I was standing there, I would just feel like it's just like a cosmic portal. I could just feel there's so many presence. Yeah. And then the mountain, there's a lot of presence within the mountains as well. So Yeah.
Actually, I feel called to ask you at this moment in time because I feel that there is a message from Kailash itself that wants to come through. And so maybe we want to allow that medicine simply to be experienced by the people. So would you be open to bring forward a channel message?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. That's right.
Greetings. We are the collective consciousness of Mount Kailash. Mount Kailash is the consciousness. We are also blending in the consciousness with you were talking about the Shambhala collective. The energy, the frequency that you often feel and see on the picture is that pristine, that golden light that shines on the mountain. Underneath, there holds millennium. So it's millions of years of the energy and the consciousness that has the library, if you will, the living consciousness, the living consciousness and library of the earth history are lying within. Some people read the information that Kailash is hollow. It is not untrue. There is a different dimensions of existence underneath the mountains and the mountain range that inhibit many, we would say, a different inner earth beings. There are also different dimensions for the collective consciousness that have been leaving their information, their history, their wisdom. And so we are, the land, the mountains, and even the water, the lake, Manasarova, are calling people forward to reconnect physically with your open heart, with your energetic field as you with your physical body as a vessel of conductor and transmitter. You are there to reconnect with different lifetimes of your own selves. The mountain there is holding the memories, the data that you deposit at different lifetimes, and then you agree or you decided collectively to return, to reconnect and retrieve the part of you that has been holding pristine, waiting for you to access. And this is for you to remember. Remember in a way that is beyond all that you have been hearing or learning, the information that is currently present on your social media or the teaching. What you are going to discover is information that has never been revealed before, that none, and it's waiting. Those are not the information that's going to be sensational. It's very much about an original way of living, the original blueprint of human, original blueprint of the earth, and how to organically create a life that is sustainable for your fellow humans. That harmony with the earth, the harmony with the elements and elementals. And so this is for those of you that feel the call. Do give yourself the permission to be willing to go through, i.e., breaking free of the limitation, the conditioned belief about money as a currency, about time as a construct, about the perceived obstacles of travel, of your physical ability as all of you who tune in to this platform hosted by our beautiful soul, Julia. You are all here to be that catalyst to awaken the humanity. And how do you awaken? You awaken by you becoming reawaken or reigniting your own original soul frequency that is powered by your heart, through your heart. You become that. And then through that, you will be inspired to do any form of expression into the world, whether to host a podcast, to take people to sacred sites, or to write, to speak, or just to travel on your own. However you feel inspired, you will be sending out that catalyzing forces and frequency into the grid wherever you are. Trust that this is how you also becoming and remembering who you came here to be. And allow the mountains. Yes, we're talking about Kailash. We're talking about the land of Himalayan range, the Tibet. We are talking about any sacred sites you feel called to go. Allow that to be a portal for you to step into every time more of your true essence, more of your true power, the authentic power, authentic presence, authentic expression, and allow yourself to receive and share the love with your soul family, the soul that already agreed to meet at this specific time, and expect yourself to experience new level of miracle and magic of being human on this earth. It's not only about suffering. It's also a lot about the joy and the power and the harmony and the abundance that flowing so freely within you when you remember step by step who you are. And we are sending you so much love. We honor your journey. We honor your strength. We know it has not been easy, and you are exactly, you have everything you need, all the resources you need in order to fulfill what you came here to be, to create, to play, and to enjoy. We are sending you blessings. And with that, we are complete for now.
That was so powerful and so beautiful. I was actually taking some notes in between because I'm like, I have to remember this. Thank you so much. And yeah, people definitely go back and put it on replay because there's a lot of quotes in here. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you.
So as for logistics, the pilgrimage is happening September 4th to 18th, right? It's 15 days. Where can people learn more about that?
Yeah, well, I'll share with you the website link and also the link to book a chat. I'll be happy to connect and then to answer questions and to already connect and then to see how this feels, if this resonates for both of us. And yeah, and once you decide, then we'll be very soon have our group calls and we could connect with one another. Yeah.
Powerful. Okay, so your website is RayaniaChaenn.com. We're going to be putting the link in the show notes. So yeah, please, everybody go check that out. Rayana, is there any final piece of wisdom that you would like to share with the audience today?
Yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for going through all the lows and the highs, the pains, the exhaustion, the tears, the darkness, the dark night of the soul. I would say, I know I invite you to join us on this pilgrimage if it resonates. Just allow the mountain to support you, allow the soul group to support you. And for those of you that, for whatever reason, you don't feel ready, just trust, just keep saying yes to life. Saying yes to life, even the mind will have 100 reasons to reject. Saying yes to yourself and trust that the universe is waiting to co-create. But we have to be the one that take the actions,
The action.
breaking through the ice or the fog, and then yeah, it's a collaboration with the universe. Yeah, good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thanks for this, yeah, heart opening and crown opening conversation. It was so good to have you. And I hope that all the, how did you say that the women who took the soul agreement in the past lives are finding their way into the constellation and into the circle. So all the best with this, yeah, beautiful endeavor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Julia, for being you, for being so devoted and dedicated to continue sharing your light, your wisdom, and your codes. You know, opening, supporting so many people, opening to the true essence, the true self. Thank you.
Mm. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in into this conversation with us today. And before you go, if this conversation today awakens something within you, whether a deeper connection to the earth herself, to the mountains, different chakra points within and without, as initiation markers for your own journey, or just a longing for sacred sites that have been calling your name, then I definitely invite you to follow that thread, because the places that call us are never random. And they often carry keys for our next chapter of growth, healing, and also soul remembrance. So if you're curious to discover which sacred landscapes may be part of your soul's evolutionary journey, then you can take the Sacred Travel Quiz. It's a fun way to get into the deeper connection with the places that might be calling you. You'll find the link in the show notes. And may you remember that you are Starfire incarnate. I'll see you next time.